Hello everybody, everyone who's interested to watch this video and hear what I have to say. I want to give a little bit of an update about my philosophy and my perspective and kind of where I'm at with teaching and what I'm doing basically. A lot of people, and myself included, are interested in this idea of non-duality. And sometimes it's presented in terms of like, this is it. This is your life. There's nothing to say. I don't have any recommendations. I don't have any teachings. There's no such thing as I. There's no such thing as you. And everything is complete. And I like that. For me, that has the style of like Zen Buddhism. And that's the Buddhist tradition I most deeply align myself with. And I know sometimes I take kind of these pauses, or might, maybe a loud scream or a big boom. So I like the non-duality idea. I'm nobody, you're nobody. There's nothing for me to teach you. There is no me. Leave it at that. And then you say, what about this? What about that? And I say, there's no such thing as that, or there is no self, or it just appears that way, and point to the immediacy of this you can't really give it a name. No name. But since I was a young one, since I first started to become a young man and come into my own, I've always had a hunger and I've always had a drive for community. Not necessarily to be a leader. Even before I knew what a leader was, I wanted to be in community. I wanted to facilitate community. I wanted to support community. So my aspiration, my intention, where I'm kind of going with my teachings is not just to be a teacher or to be a non-teacher, right? But actually to facilitate and to invite and to invoke something new, something really interesting that's based in community. Now, what is that going to be? What is that going to become? I have no idea. Having a meditation center, having a physical space, is not really where my mind is right now. What I'm working with and how I'm kind of trying to go in this direction of building community is to make myself and my life and my experience really, really available. Kind of to expose myself as fully and completely and totally as I can, as is safe to do. And through that, to invite this sense of connection to me, myself, as the appearance, as the facilitator, as the person in front of the screen, but especially to this way of ending suffering. And that idea, like this way of ending suffering, that can be very religious, very absolutist. But I see it more like being primarily concerned with ending suffering. And the way of continuing in that, the way of being in that, the way of giving that, the way of remembering that. So we have this non-duality in one side where everything is nothing, everything is complete, everything is just as it is. No teacher, no student, no methods, no practices, etc. But I like to call that what it already is, no matter what. Kind of like how in Zen or in Chan, we have this teaching of Buddha mind or original mind. So that everybody has this enlightened nature. Everyone has this connection to reality as it is. Free from thoughts, free from people, free from places, free from stories. Just like reality as it is. But not a lot of people recognize that. Not a lot of people see their source, which is personless. And there's a little bit of a contradiction in that. There's a little bit of an oxymoron in that. And that's the joy of life, isn't it? There's no birth without death. There's no sunshine without storms. There's no hot without cold. So it goes without saying that is the way that it is. And I think that this can actually be the basis for deep and meaningful communication to grow whatever this is, to grow whatever this could become, to support each other, to get more involved in the work of ending our own suffering. To listen to the sound of the waves, to walk backwards while recording a video on the beach. So, I don't want to give too much of a grand idea about my experience or my position. Honestly, as seriously as anyone is willing to take me, also take me not so seriously. Just be open. And of course, be forgiving, be curious, be gentle, be respectful, be reverent. The work that's currently seems to be done is not just for myself, like being a wanderer, like being a spiritual nomad, but also in the world of technology, in the world of sitting in the meditation hall, and there are hundreds and thousands of people flowing in and flowing out, saying nice things, saying bad things. There's a lot of energy coming through. Now, what we're supposed to believe is that that's just some kind of nonsense. You're just on YouTube, and that's just the algorithm, and people are just swiping. But actually, we're human beings. And when we see something, when we hear something, when we are together with something happening live, it's human experience to human experience. It's mind to mind. So it maybe is quite surprising how I act, how I react, how I shout, how I give a strong hand to some of the people and some of the situations, if you're following along in our live streams. But I wonder if you can bring up the question, what would it be like if at your favorite temple, with your former Buddhist monk or current Buddhist monk, whatever, in Ajahn Brahm's temple, in Thich Nhat Hanh's temple, etc., if during the Dhamma talk you had thousands upon thousands upon thousands of people coming in, yelling, screaming, attacking the teacher or the host, doing goodness knows what. So this is meant to be experimental. It's meant to be revolutionary, and it's meant to be a safe haven for being lost. Not to give any concrete answers, not to get anybody here to sign up to some kind of big plan or coaching system or belief system, but to kind of be a spiritual friend to one another in all the ways that we can. To give, to share, to listen, and to be open to not limiting ourselves to some commercial, materialistic, limited view of what it means to give, to listen, to share our lives with one another. Not as a content creator, not as a content consumer, but as individuals, as human beings on the path that sure are ultimately empty, living in a dream and waking up from the dream. So that's where I'm at right now. Okay? I just had a good idea. I love you all so much, all of you nobodies, that I think I've got to show it. I've got to prove it. And I know just the way. What did I say? What did I teach everybody about the 10 secret martial arts? And the 11th one that they left out of the book. If nothing else works, run. Okay, dear friends, thank you so much for being here and watching the full video. That means a lot. That's a lot of time. If you have the heart and the means and the willingness and the interest to donate to help me build up this life, whatever it may become, please reach out directly by email or leave a comment. This is a world where there's not really such a thing as a free place to stay, or a free meal, or a free way to get around. You know, that's most of the time that's the case. And I don't want to sell anything. And the essence of these teachings is not commercial. I don't think I could commercialize it even if I wanted to. So I'm stuck in encouraging generosity and benefiting from the generosity of others, as I think that we all are. So this is maybe also another subject or another topic that when I'm ready I'll try to talk more deeply about. You know, and it's actually something that I really think there is something special about generosity. There's a key in generosity concerned with detachment and of course, or wisdom. And of course it's not that obtuse, but finding the way to talk about it within this context and just unfolding that and opening that in a way that's not religious, in a way that's not kind of to take off the limiter of being open about sharing what we have in a skillful way, in a way that makes sense, but almost turning on its head, you know, from being 1% generous, you know, 7%, whatever it might be, to actually getting up to 51% generous. How can I make use of 51% of my time? How can I make use of 51% of my money? How can I know it's a dirty word, how can I make use of 51% of my resources and possessions for the others, for all? I think there's something special in that, as well as a way where we can still keep our independence. To go from all of this being about me to all of this being about us, to nothing and nobody, no more suffering. So, namaste. Thank you so much. Tashi Delek. Please leave a like. Don't be shy to subscribe. Don't be shy to share with your friends. I'm sure they'll tune into a live stream one time and they'll think you're absolutely out of it, but grateful. Thank you, and see you again very, very soon.